Here are your recommended tools for today's project: an analog multimeter, a socket screwdriver, metal tape, and a Stanley Tripod Light. Find it very useful. You can get it into tight places, and that's the one I recommend. And that's the tools we'll need for today. Hi, my name is Kevin Brake, and today we're going to talk about how to fix a heater coil in your dryer. One of the main things that make you think that a heater coil might be gone in your dryer is that it tumbles but it produces no heat. Which leads me to why we are here at the fuse box. Traditionally, if your dryer is tumbling but it has no heat, you could just flick your switch off and on, and for the most part, if you're lucky, your heat will kick in. As well, when you go to a standard fuse box with fuses, you could just check the fuses. One normally would be okay, the second fuse more than likely would be blown. In some events, when these particular units are blown, you have to take them out and test them. And if these are good, it leads us to our next problem, which almost 100% of the time is either a thermostat inside of the dryer, or in our instance for today's example, a heater coil. So we're going to go upstairs now, and we are going to first turn off the power and of course unplug it from the wall. Let's take no chances. I don't want anybody watching getting electrocuted. Alright, we're going to go and start things upstairs. We are now at the dryer. So we've been downstairs, we flicked the switch off and on, we came back to our dryer, and we noticed that we're still getting no heat, which means one of two things: thermostat, or perhaps our heater coil, which is what we have right here. Right here we have a brand new heater coil. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how to identify, using this analog multimeter, whether or not your existing heater coil is blown. So for our example, we're going to be using a GB Instruments GMT-12A. It's a very simple, very easy to use multimeter. There's lots of other ones out there. This is the one I'm going to be using for this demonstration. So first thing we do, we switch the multimeter to ohms. And what that's going to do is going to test the resistance in a line. So I'm going to just try to show it to you here. We're going to take both of it, and you'll notice when I connect the two connectors together, the multimeter goes up. Now, in order to test if your heater coil is gone, you would actually connect it, as you can see right at the corner. I'm going to move the camera to a better angle. Here are the two connectors. Here are two connectors. We can go red or black, doesn't matter. And watch the multimeter. So touch the bottom, touch the top, and as you can see we get resistance, which means this particular coil is good. Remember, the steps are: turn on to ohms, test your multimeter, and you'll notice there's resistance. And then come here, and you're all set. If you get no resistance or no reading, that means your coil is gone. And now we're ready to install our coil. Your heater coil is located on the Kenmore 90 series dryer, just below the door. And it's very easy to take off the door. As you can see, there's two clips here. You would push your screwdriver ends in here, pull the door back, and it pops right off. Now you can see the housing unit right here is where the coil goes. So let's just put the coil in. Be careful not to ground the coil or damage the coil when inserting it. As you can see, it's pretty straightforward to install it. Alright. As you can see here, we have a heat shield that must be replaced. It's not too hard. There is a notch here, there is a slot here, and as you can see, it ain't too hard to install at all. Now, as you can see, there are two wires here. And let me adjust the angle so you can see what's going on. These two wires need to be connected here. The good thing about connecting a heater coil is that in this particular model, it doesn't matter which way you connect the wires. We don't need to worry that the positive is in the wrong spot or the negative. We just plug them in and we're good to go. Alright, so now we're ready to put this back into place, what we need to do is we lift up the entire unit. And it's okay to disconnect this piece right here. It's like a little suction hose. Put it out of the way for now. And let me see here. Alright, one of the most challenging parts you're going to have is right down here, about an arm's length. I don't know if you can even see my fingers over here. Here we go. You have to line up the housing of the heater coil into the exhaust hole, and that was one of the most challenging things. It took me a long time to do it. You'll know it's lined up properly because you're going to finally be able to insert your 2 bolts back here. And for the most part, for installation of the heater coil, that would be it. We'll finish up, put the 2 bolts in, put the cover back on. Of course, we're going to have to hook up the vent hose again, and that will conclude doing it. So it's pretty simple once you get a chance to confirm whether or not that is exactly the problem. The actual installation is not that hard. Okay. Okay, we have it all hooked up again. We have it set to a standard time for heat. It's on high heat. I don't really care about the signal being off or on. And to test it, we can just hold down the switch and of course press the button. And almost instantly we're getting a lot of heat. So that's it. That's how you fix your Kenmore 90 series dryer. Hope you enjoyed it.